Hey, Erin, thanks so much for joining us today. I want to start out with kind of a simple question. What brought you to the Indigenous Food and Agriculture Initiative?
Luck. Literally, I was in the right place at the right time. I had come back to the School of Law a couple of years after I finished my JD to start their L.L.M program in agricultural and food law. That was something that I thought about doing like right after I finished my law degree, and I'm so glad that I didn't because my timing couldn't have been better. I came back here the same year that Stacy and Janie were co-founding the initiative, and because I had done some work with Stacy previously on the Cobell Commission and as a law student, I got to be a graduate assistant for the initiative during my L.L.M year. So literally right place, right time.
Looking back at your time at IFAI, what are some of the projects or areas of work that you're most proud of?
Oh wow, that's tough. We've done so much incredible work in the time that I've been here. It's hard to narrow it all down. I think if I had to pick just a few things off the top of my head, I would definitely say the summit, the work that we've been able to do to support the next generation of leaders. And not really, we say the next generation all the time. It is the next generation, but they're also leading right now. And it's been so amazing to see all of those young people who've come through that program as they've learned and grown and just immediately put themselves into leadership positions across Indian country food and ag. That's been really amazing and honestly just an incredible privilege to support them as they've learned. So I would definitely say the summit. I'm a lawyer, so I can't not say the Model Tribal Food and Agriculture Code project, that legal code that we developed for tribes who are looking to express their sovereignty in the space of food and agriculture. That by no means was my brainchild. That was definitely Janie's brainchild. I was just happy to be able to help carry it over the finish line, but it's been really cool to see tribes picking up pieces of that, adopting it, tailoring it to their unique needs and circumstances to support their food systems and their producers. And last thing I would probably say is the work that we do to support tribal leaders who sit in consultation with federal officials, whether that's at USDA or elsewhere. Most of it's been at USDA, especially in support of the food distribution program on Indian reservations, which is a really critical food assistance program in Indian country. And those consultations have helped improve service to thousands of tribal families across Indian country through that program. There's more traditional and culturally appropriate food available to them now through that program than ever before because of the leadership of tribal leaders and the NAFA board as subject matter experts sitting in consultation with USDA and working out ways to improve that service. So it's been a real honor to support them in that as well.
That's a lot of amazing work. And thinking about that, what do you hope to leave behind, or what is your legacy at IFAI?
You know, I've been thinking about that a lot as we've been trying to wrap things up here in the last couple of weeks. It's a lot to get your head around. I think my answer is complicated because as I think about my last 11 years here, I know none of this would be here if it hadn't been for a multitude of people, right? If it hadn't been for the visionary leadership of Stacy Leeds and Janie Hipp in co-founding this place and working with university administration to make a home for us here at the School of Law. To have the administration be supportive was also incredible. We couldn't have done it without them. It's been 2 chancellors, 4 deans of law, couple of vice chancellors, so many faculty and staff, not just in the law school, but also outside of the law school, people like Dr. Marty Matlock, who immediately understood the value of this place and who has worked with us for years to support Indigenous students here on this campus and at other universities across the country. Folks like Professor Susan Schneider in the L.L.M program at the university's School of Law, helping us to develop and make sure there was curriculum available through the L.L.M program on Indigenous student ag law, so lawyers coming through that program can get special training on the kind of work that we do. Definitely need more lawyers in this field. I'm biased, but I mean it. I have good evidence for it. Other people like our previous directors, Colby and Janie, who sat in this seat before me and helped shape our work and guide it. Partners across Indian country, like the Intertribal Agriculture Council, they've been here from day one. We wouldn't be here without them. When I started, they were led by Ross Racine and then Zach Ducheneau and now Carrie Jo Lawrence and her amazing team. All of the funders who supported our work over the years saw the value of it, helped us grow, helped us continue to provide the service and support that we give to tribal nations. And every single person who's on our staff, whether they are full-time or whether they're part of our amazing student research cohorts, all of the people who have been here and who are here now have helped us make this place what it is. That success doesn't belong to any one person, it doesn't belong to me. So I think if I leave anything here, I hope that it is an enduring and abiding spirit of collaboration and an understanding that nobody can do this alone and nobody has to, because there's a whole team here to help.
Well, you're going to be leaving, but will you still be working in a space to help support Indian country food and ag? And can you talk a little bit about what you'll be doing?
I can, yeah. I'm excited. I am going to USDA. I'm going into the Food and Nutrition Service, which is the agency that is responsible for the administration of all of USDA's food assistance programs, many of which can be administered by tribes. So there's a lot of work there. And I'm going in as a tribal affairs technical advisor. So I'm going to be working on policy recommendations and helping to shape department policies on work with tribal nations for FNS. That's a little bit about what I'm going to be doing. So I'll definitely be back out there in a different capacity. In fact, I think I'll be at the consultations that are happening next week at NCAI. So you will definitely see me back out there. I'm not disappearing from the space.
Knowing you've been involved with IFAI since almost day one, and that you've helped lead the organization through projects, successes, and growth since our doors first opened, what's next for IFAI?
Ooh. There's so much good work happening right now. I mean, for one thing, you're going to have a farm bill eventually, right? That's the hope. That's the dream. So that'll definitely be hopefully coming down in this year, next year, we'll see. So there'll, of course, be policy analysis work to do to see what's in there that impacts Indian country. We've got so much work going on right now with tribes investing in food systems, whether that's developing agribusinesses or passing laws and policies that support their food systems and producers, like developing tribal departments of agriculture, or trying to fix these BIA issues, whether it's the ag leasing regulations or development of agricultural resource management plans so that tribes are safeguarding natural resources on their agricultural lands and supporting their producers. There's a whole lot going on, but ultimately I don't want to write the story for you as I leave. I want to read it. So I'm excited to see where you go.
Well, as we wrap up, do you have any last bit of wisdom that you'd like to bestow upon IFAI staff?
Well, this isn't from me, but like any good researcher, I will cite my sources, so that's okay. When I stepped into the executive director spot a few years ago, one of the first things that I did was reach out to my predecessors, Janie and Colby, for advice and guidance, and they both had some really great things to say, but one thing in particular that Janie said to me has stuck with me, and I actually had it on a post-it note in my office for quite some time on my desk, so I would see it every day. And Janie will laugh at that if she sees this because she knows how obsessed I am with post-it notes. But she said, perfection isn't possible. Take a deep breath and do what you can. And I know I needed to hear that because I think a lot of the people who work in public service, and I know everybody who works here at IFAI does this work because we care about it. We care about it deeply. We find it very meaningful, and we know that it matters to the communities that we serve in tribes across Indian country and to the people in those communities. And when work matters to you that much, and when you know that it matters to other people, it can be really, really easy to get in your head and strive so much for perfection because you want to deliver everything that you can to support the people that you're helping, that it just keeps you from doing anything at all. And I know I always need a reminder that nothing you do is going to be perfect. There's always an opportunity to learn. Nobody knows everything. I don't. But you just take a deep breath and you do the best that you can. And I think that as long as everybody keeps doing that, then this place is going to continue to just grow and do amazing work. So thank you.
Erin, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of this hard work that you've done, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.